Hello and welcome back to Global Bike Buzz, where passion meets precision, and today we've got something that's been buzzing in the background for months, finally roaring into the light. You're about to spend the next few minutes getting under the skin of the 2026 Honda GB500, a machine that blends Honda's engineering discipline with a soul that's firmly rooted in classic motorcycling history. This isn't just another bike review, it's an immersion. So, picture yourself leaning against a weathered garage door, coffee in hand, as we roll this beauty into the sunlight and start talking. The first glance stops you in your tracks. This is a bike that speaks in lines, curves, and tiny design whispers from another era. Up front, the round LED headlamp glows with a warm, inviting light even when switched off, thanks to its subtly tinted lens. The brushed aluminum shell catches morning sun, sending a soft glint that travels down the polished fork legs. The small fairing that hugs the lamp is more about style than aerodynamics, but in that understated way, it hints at the GB500's purpose: not to dominate the track, but to own the road with presence. A slim, body-colored front fender hovers just above the 18-inch wheel, hugging the vintage-style tire whose tread pattern seems lifted from a photo in a 1960s bike magazine. But rest assured, it's modern radial rubber that grips like glue. As the camera eases to the side, the profile is pure poetry. That teardrop-shaped fuel tank could have been sculpted by a craftsman, with knee cutouts that feel like they were measured from an old leather jacket's creases. The paint is deep and lustrous. Honda offers it in British racing green, crimson metallic, and a classic black, gold scheme. Hand-applied pinstripes add an artisanal touch, the kind of detail you can trace with your finger. The seat stretches low and narrow, upholstered in diamond-stitched tan leather with subtle weatherproofing. Its stitching is tight, crisp, and framed by slightly raised piping. The side panels are minimalist, carrying a small GB500 badge in brushed silver. Down below, the frame's double cradle design gives you a clear view of the engine, a rarity in modern bikes where plastics and covers often dominate. Twin chrome exhausts curve back like a calligrapher's stroke, their surfaces flawless enough to catch the reflection of passing cars. Walking to the rear, the simplicity continues. The tail section is tight, the short rear fender ending just past the wheel arch, leaving the fat rear tire and spoked wheel fully on display. And LED tail light is tucked neatly beneath the seat's edge, bright when lit, invisible when off. Turn signals are small but functional, mounted on short chrome stalks. Twin gold anodized shocks rise gracefully from the swing arm, adjustable for preload so you can fine-tune for solo rides or a passenger. The license plate holder is compact, angled for both legality and style. Nothing sticks out awkwardly, everything feels measured. Under that vintage skin lies the mechanical heart of a 498cc single-cylinder air-cooled 4-stroke, the kind of engine configuration that made Honda famous decades ago. The big single has a visible fin structure for cooling, each rib casting shadows in the light. Honda's engineers have given it a forged crankshaft, light-weight piston, and counterbalancer to smooth vibrations without erasing the single's signature thump. Fuel injection hides inside a carburetor look-alike body, complete with mock float bowl, so you get instant starts in cold weather without losing the old-school aesthetic. A 5-speed gearbox delivers power through a chain final drive, and the ratios are chosen so you can enjoy lazy city cruising in 3rd gear or spirited country lane sprints in 4th and 5th. Start it up and there's an immediate character to the sound, a deep, measured pulse at idle, rich without being loud, courtesy of carefully tuned mufflers. Roll on the throttle and it picks up cleanly, delivering about 42 horsepower at 6,500 revolutions per minute and 34 pound-feet of torque around 4,000 revolutions per minute. It's not about blistering acceleration, it's about usable, satisfying pull right where you live most of your riding life. At 60 miles per hour, it hums comfortably, and with its compact wheelbase and light curb weight around 190 kilograms, you feel totally in control. Ride quality is where Honda's decades of refinement shine. The 41mm telescopic forks up front are tuned for a blend of compliance and control, swallowing urban potholes without diving harshly under braking. The twin rear shocks are equally cooperative, offering a smooth ride over broken pavement and keeping the bike composed in long sweepers. Cornering feels predictably lean. It follows, and it holds the line. The low center of gravity makes even low-speed U-turns easy. Braking is straightforward but trustworthy. A single 296mm front disc with a twin-piston caliper offers progressive bite, paired with a 240mm rear disc. ABS comes standard, tuned so it doesn't intrude too early. It's not sport bike braking force, but for the bike's performance envelope, it's spot-and smooth, reassuring, and easy to modulate. On longer rides, you'll appreciate the GB500's ergonomics. The upright seating position keeps pressure off your wrists, while the seat height of around 790mm makes it accessible to a wide range of riders. The bars are just wide enough for leverage but narrow enough for city filtering. That 15-liter tank means you can comfortably hit 200+ miles before thinking about fuel, and thanks to its efficient engine, you'll often see 55–60 miles per gallon in mixed riding, stretching your range without stretching your budget. Speaking of budgets, Honda has been strategic with the GB500's price. In the US, expect somewhere in the $5,900 to $6,200 range, depending on accessories and paint. Europe will likely see prices around A-6,500 A-7,300, and in India, somewhere in the A-16A7 lakh bracket. That positions it well against competitors like the Royal Enfield Interceptor or Triumph Speed Twin 900A bikes with similar retro flair but often heavier or more expensive. Honda will also offer accessory packs like a heritage kit with leather saddlebags and a small fly screen, or a terrain kit with a rear rack and heated grips. After spending time both staring at and riding the GB500, what stays with you isn't just the look, it's the balance of character and capability. It's a bike that doesn't try to be everything, but everything it does with purpose. The way it idles smoothly yet feels alive under throttle. The way it tips into corners willingly but never nervously. The way the seat patina will tell your riding story over the years. These are the details that make it more than just transport. Sure, there are small compromises. If you're planning multi-day tours with camping gear, you'll need to get creative with luggage solutions. And while the single-disc up front is fine for spirited riding, heavy 2-up downhill work will remind you it's tuned for everyday pace, not race pace. But those trade-offs fade the moment you park it somewhere and turn around to look at it, because you will look back. In the end, the 2026 Honda GB500 isn't trying to win drag races or dominate spec sheets. It's a reminder that riding is about the feeling between the handlebars, the road beneath, and the scenery sliding past. It's about the kind of charm that makes you take the long way home. And that's exactly why, for riders who value personality as much as performance, this bike will be remembered. That's all for today's deep dive on the GB500 here on Global Bike Buzz. If you found yourself nodding along, or if this bike has made its way onto your wish list,